Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. Today is Thursday, and after the games and after the sports that happened last night, we got a lot to talk about. We got the NFL's kicking off the season. We got stuff to talk about that tonight and everything else. Before we jump into all that, let me introduce you to my co-patriots. Like that, guys? The
No.
Big and
That was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Anyway, I got talent and I got Fig. I want to jump in and talk about the NBA playoffs last night. But before I do, there's something that happened last night, early this morning, that's not being talked about too much on any platform. And let me throw it out there and let me hit it over the head first. The first thing is that Daniel House, one of the players from the Houston Rockets, is under investigation for allowing a female COVID-19 testing official into his room. His status is in question. Right now, people are saying, you know what, he might not even play for the rest of the series. But here's the thing. I'll say it again. It was a COVID-19 testing official who got caught in his room. Talent, what's your thoughts on that?
I like it. I like it. That's some talent shit, yo. I love it. Yo, but come on, man. We got to cut him some slack. He didn't go to the strip club. He didn't bring somebody in from somewhere else. He bought a testing official. Who's more healthier than the testing official for COVID? This is a talent move right here. This is so dope. I said cut him some slack him on the wrist, sit him down, whatever, a game or two, or find some dollars and let the man play. Leave him alone. This was dope.
Faye, what you think?
Yo, man, I want to disagree, but listen, it's not like the Lou Williams thing, man. You understand what I'm saying? Lou was outside of the bubble. He went to a place where crowds were. Mm-hmm. This was a woman who tests people for COVID, so clearly I'm assuming she didn't have it. She was already in the bubble. She was already negative. He was negative. So I'm saying you got two consenting adults doing what consenting adults do when they've been, behind closed doors. They've been in this bubble for like 2 months now. You got to expect the man to get his, the guinea on. And she must have been feeling the same way. You know what I mean? With a name like House, maybe she figured he had something happening.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Frank and Fig, I think it should come down to this. If you want to figure whether you penalize them or not, it should come down to this. If Shorty had a bubble, you're good. Because there's a bubble in the bubble. You playing in the bubble. So if Shorty got a bubble, he should get a pass.
All right, here's another question for you about that. Being that the NBA is going to take a real hard look at that, I mean, they're getting ready to it's going to send some shockwaves and things like that. The NBA is going to take a hard look at that. Talent, do you think that it affects how they even handle issues with the COVID-19?
Wait, hold on. Did you just say the NBA is going to take a hard look?
She got a bubble. If she got a bubble.
Hilarious. All right, Talent, what you think? NBA, doing, because the NBA's got to be a little bit upset. Actually, they got to be very upset about that. They got to be extremely upset because the NBA's hiring these people, COVID-19 testing officials. They're hiring these people, and if one of them is straying away, fraternizing with the NBA players, is putting in one of these players in jeopardy. He's not even going to play the next game. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts is this, because we don't know the bylaws and the fine print. Now, this may be a thing that stranger things have happened. Somebody may have forgotten to put this in the rules. So even though it's technically not what they want them to do, he might not technically be in violation. That's why they said they got to investigate and look into it, because if it isn't written down and that man signed on the dotted line and that's not in there, they ain't got a leg to stand on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, my thing is, I'm dead serious. I think this is less detrimental than, like, say, the Lou Williams thing. Nobody's leaving the bubble and doing all this extra stuff. We're workers, both got a job to do within this closed community. I'm on the court. You're testing people. We have laws of attraction. That's the thing that killed me about society, man. We got to stop stretching the laws of attraction. These are natural laws of attraction. He's a man, she's a woman. They see each other, they flirt a little bit, they may like each other, and hey, they both been locked in the bubble for months. The horny level is rising. I say, go ahead and give him that COVID test, man. If Shorty got a bubble inside the bubble, and they was chewing bubble gum right before, they should be.
Fig, what you think?
Yo, you see, Frank, you hear that Freudian slip?
Yeah.
He said if they like each other. Yo, man, it's crazy. Yo, Frank, man, I'm just saying it's crazy, man, because I'd like to understand. My one question is, what did they do, either one of them, that was detrimental to what's happening in the bubble? Because they're both, I mean, clearly Daniel House doesn't have a significant other. Because if he does, then he's in a whole different kind of trouble. You understand what I'm saying? He's not married, so his wife ain't there. You got other players whose wives are in the bubble with them. They're fraternizing and whatever. His teammates is probably giving in the business, talking about, yo, son, I did my business last night. What you do? He's like, but just in case you feel a little lonely, I got an extra bottle of Jergens lotion in my room, and I'm gonna let you have it.
Hey, yo, somebody got the nerve to ask him, hey, play, I'm about to go get tested. You been tested? Have I been tested? I got the platinum test, bro.
Yeah, I got tested last night. I got tested this morning. I'm gonna get tested again this afternoon.
You guys are forgetting. Fig, you forgetting the biggest question. We're asking all the wrong questions, right? My question is, who's the snitch?
Yeah.
Who snitched on this?
Yeah, because it's not like the NBA noticed, because they got other things to attend to. Good question.
You know, some hater that liked her and was trying to give her the business, and she turned him down and went with the house. You know how jealous cats do.
Yeah, that's it. All right, now let's jump into the business, right? Let's jump into the NBA playoff jumped off last night. We happened to see a classic last night. Whether you're a Toronto Raptors fan, whether you're a Boston Celtics fan, we saw an NBA classic going down to the wire. My question for both of you all is that the type of game that you expected to see talent, or, you know, some things went a different way and, you know, things weren't as you expected to see?
I definitely didn't expect that, Frank. I thought last night, although I expected to be competitive, I didn't think we were going to see a double overtime. Some people even called it the best game in the bubble this year because it was exciting. I mean, when you see people leave it all out there, Lowry, depleted, tired, going into a second one. You know, you just see that's like, we're going to go through these motions, but people on fumes, basically. Right. So I can understand some people saying it was the best game entertainment-wise that they watched. Did I expect a double overtime? Hell no. Hell to the no would I ever bought $5 on that. I was expecting, like most people, for Boston to close it out. And let's move on with the Boston-Miami conference finals.
Right.
Didn't expect it at all.
Right. Fig.
It was right up there. It was right up there because we just seen one in the Western Conference in that last series with Denver and
Portland.
What's the other team, man? It just went home. New Orleans? No, the Jazz.
Utah.
The Jazz. When Donovan Mitchell and Murray was going at it, that was a classic, man. They had a couple of overtimes right there, 50 points. 37 points, stuff like that. So that was dope. But last night was the hottest one that I seen in the Eastern Conference. Mm-hmm. That was the Eastern Conference classic. And I wasn't surprised because, you know, they had been playing fairly even. There was, you know, there were no real blowouts. You know what I mean? They were playing fairly even. So I you know, you kind of figured that Toronto was going to be playing for their life last night because it was win or go home. And the closeout game is the hardest game to win in the NBA. And Boston is still fairly a young team, You know what I mean? It's not a whole bunch of veterans on there.
That's
So
true.
I could see it being nip and tuck. It was really good, real entertaining. You know, it was the best game last night for sure. Definitely last night, and the best game in the East.
Right. Talent. Kemba Walker seemed like he was a ghost last night. He had one field goal, kind of disappeared. Jason Tatum made a crucial mistake at the end of that game. Did it seem like to you that the Celtics gave that game away, or was it nip and tuck and you know, a battle? You know, I don't even want to put words in your mouth. What was your thoughts? Because, you know.
Well, I think clearly, this is how I look at it. When you play in a series of basketball, no matter who the player is, the player has to have these depleted moments. Mm-hmm. And a great player usually in a 7-game series has one game like that. Last night was Kemba Walker depleted game where he was there, but he wasn't there. And you don't play that kind of minutes, walk away with one field goal, 5 points on the evening with those kind of minutes. I think that it's better that it happened in a game that was less important than a game 7's gonna be. You don't want to see this happen to Kemba in the next game. You want it to happen right where it happened at. And not only is over and done with this series, it gives him a boost of rejuvenation going forward to the next series. So I think it's bound to happen with all great players.
Good point. Fig, what's your thoughts?
Man, I to tell you the truth is Toronto been there, done that. And like I said, Boston is still fairly got some young pups there. The thing that Boston didn't know, or I would imagine that they don't know, that a veteran team would, is that when you're a young team, you play to probably win every quarter. When you get down to the fourth quarter, what a veteran team knows that a young team might not, is that you want to win every possession. And when Tatum lost the ball, when he got the ball stolen from him, because he dribbled into a crowd. You could do that during the regular season. You could do that during the regular, you know, game 1, game 2, game 3. But when you get to a closeout game, that's not the kind of play that you want to make. And if he was playing to win every single possession, I think that's a play that he doesn't make, and he doesn't lose the ball in that position. You take care of the ball. You're more careful with it because you know I have to win every possession. Every time we have the ball, we got to win that possession. So you take care of the ball better than you normally would. So I, like Talent said, I do think that that is good that they got that one out of the way, and I think they'll come back with a better effort tomorrow.
Right. Good. Now,
but it's still to me, between those two, tomorrow is going to be a classic because it's still a toss-up because they're fairly even.
Okay. Now, normally around this time, we're getting ready to start hyping up and introducing our guest who's getting ready to come in. But we found news about 5 minutes before the show that our guest canceled. Callie, you want to speak on that, real fast?
Yeah. Not canceled. Canceled mean we ain't going to never get him.
Yeah.
He just rescheduled for tomorrow. So Sam Cassell hit me with a text that the great Doc Rivers, his head coach, called a last-minute impromptu meeting of the coaches. So all the coaches had to report at 1 o'clock. Our show, of course, comes on at 1 o'clock. So he apologizes to the whole team and to everybody and just rescheduled to jump in tomorrow, which he said will be better for us.
Man, I appreciate Sam calling and rescheduling, but I would have sure liked if he would have rescheduled back in 1994 when his Houston Rockets destroyed our Knicks. That's why I wish he would have rescheduled then.
Now I'm glad he said that. Let's get the conversation going. Here's the thing for you. We're gonna switch gears about the Celtics, and before we jump back into the NBA playoffs again, because I really want to do that. Word broke out this morning that Giannis is being heavily touted to go to Miami, the Clippers, the Raptors, and the Warriors. But people are expecting, inside people are talking. People are really nervous that if he heads down to Miami, Pat Riley ain't gonna let him go without, some kind of conversation, whereas they could do a trade and Miami's ready to give him an extended contract that will bring him to the Miami Heat. Now, here's the issue. No one can pay him more than the Milwaukee Bucks, but people really want to see him obviously paired up with Jimmy Butler. Talent, do you think Pat Riley will be able to snatch him up and be able to convince Miami to be able to convince Milwaukee to be able to do some kind of trade and then an extended kind of contract with them to get Giannis? You think that's a possibility?
I don't know why y'all think that Milwaukee's gonna bow out and do these deals.
No, I don't think that at all.
I don't think he's leaving Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee makes it super hard for Giannis to go anywhere else. And I think that's one thing I could say about athletes who are those superstar athletes in those cities and towns. It's something to be said about owning a city outright and sharing ownership of a city. And everybody knows that as players go. That's why you see players in these cities that are super talented but never leave. Because I could go somewhere else, but am I going to be the same megastar here as I am here? And I think if he goes stack up next to 3 more people or 2 more people that's proven, you're just doing a create as you go thing like LeBron did. You're not standing alone. And this is a young man who clearly can stand alone. Bring the pieces to you in Milwaukee. I don't think it's going to happen.
All right, Fig, do you think if he goes down to Miami, if Miami's able to court him, do you think that he's going to be able to be snatched up by Miami, the Clippers, the Raptors, or the Warriors, especially the Miami? Because people, like I said, the talent, people are really scared and nervous about him even making a trip to Miami because, you know, they don't want him to fall into the guise of what Pat Riley does. Because Pat Riley has been known to snatch up a lot of great players, right. LeBron, and I mean, just go down the list. LeBron, Shaq, you know, he gets a lot of people when they come to visit. What you think?
I mean, it's kind of hard for a young man to turn down some of the stuff that Pat Riley can throw at you down in South Beach. You know, South Beach got some stuff to offer. Yes, I'm trying to tell you, I think Milwaukee got nothing on South Beach. Talent talking about see if you get somebody to come with you to Milwaukee. Let me tell you something. They ain't leaving Miami to go to Milwaukee. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't know if Pat Riley, listen, one of the things that I heard, one of the things that Pat Riley did, I think, in recruiting LeBron James, he threw those rings out on the table and said, listen, you could get a couple of these if you come and play for me. But now you said the sign and trade. I'm wondering who Miami would get rid of in order to entice Milwaukee to give Giannis up.
It would have to be a player and 2 or 3 draft picks. That's the only way I think it would work.
And the one thing, I'm like, which player? And the one thing that I'm a little concerned with, I know Steve Ballmer probably got him and God is probably neck and neck on.
Hello? Fig, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Go ahead. Repeat that last.
Like Steve Ballmer might be willing to go over the cap to pay him, but I don't see him really fitting with in the Clippers. Like the Clippers already got a bunch of stars. They got Kawhi, they got Paul George. You know what I mean? They got a bunch of dogs on there. Like who they getting rid of?
Right.
Golden State. Who Golden State gonna get rid of to bring him in? You know, do they want to pay that extra money? They've been known to pay. Look, if they got rid of KD. You know what I mean? And they was paying him.
They did not get rid of KD. KD left on his own.
KD left. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying that when I say got rid of him, I was talking about his salary.
Okay.
So maybe they can figure. I mean, they've been known to figure out a way to pay several stars before. Last closing it up, Giannis did say that he wanted to win in Milwaukee. That's the one thing that Milwaukee could possibly hang their hat on. Is that Giannis said that he wanted to win there, but who are you gonna get to come there to help him win? Because he's going to need help.
Okay, you both made some excellent points, but I'm gonna leave y'all with this before I ask the next question. Milwaukee needs to change the coach. It's not even about the players. I think right now it's the coach is the problem. If Milwaukee ownership is not changing the coach, and of course if Giannis sees that you know what we ain't going nowhere, I think Giannis is going out. You know he might give him one more year, and I think he's out. And we all know that you're easily hypnotized by Pat Riley when you go to South Beach. We all know that. Anyway, next question for you guys is: this is a humdinger. First time in ever NBA history, a woman is going up for a head coaching position. A woman by the name of Becky Hammon. She's the Spurs assistant coach.
Oh yeah.
That's my girl.
She is going up for Indiana Pacers head coaching position right now as we speak. Challenge.
Wow.
A great gesture for the Indiana Pacers if they hired a woman. Meanwhile, you've got other coaches sitting out there. Mark Jackson. You got Tyronn Lue. You got a whole list of guys who she would be.
Sam Cassell.
But Frank, let's say this. I don't even think it's a gesture. You know how we just felt slighted because you skipped over the same guys you mentioned to go to an unproven coach in Steve Nash.
Right.
One thing about Becky, you know, this New York, baby, this New York Liberty. Mm-hmm. Becky's proven. Becky's a champion and an all-star in the WNBA, turned coach for a number of years. Yeah, was assistant with the Spurs, putting it down on winning seasons. Mm-hmm. So she's coming with a resume already.
Right.
Yeah.
So it ain't no gesture. I think that obviously she's female, so she's going to get, because it's woman season and we're going through this movement, they're going to make a big deal like that. But from a man who watches this game, she's proven. She has a resume. It's like going to that job. You don't walk in a job and become the supervisor if you ain't been a supervisor somewhere else.
Right. Now, you just made a good point, but she's also in the mix with other guys who are proven. You know what I mean? It's not like she's ahead of Tyrone Lue or Mark Jackson or you know, these other guys and anything else. Same question to you, Fig. What you think?
I want to disagree, man, but she's been there before. The only slight that I would say that could possibly go against her is the fact that Budenholzer was under Pop too. Mm-hmm. And he's the coach right now, and she's under that same umbrella. That is the only thing that I can see going against her. But other than that, Talon said she's played the game, and
the resume.
It seems like she's a player's coach. You know what I mean? She knows the game. And let me just tell you this. The one thing that I have to give the WNBA that's not attributed to the NBA is those young ladies, I'm not saying they're not athletic, but they're fundamentally sound. They know the fundamentals and they know their X's and O's because maybe they're a little less athletic than the men. Like they're not jumping, you know, out of the gym and stuff like that. So their game is more fundamental. You know what I mean? You have to have skills as a woman to play in the WNBA, and they know their X's and O's, and they know how to establish a play. So she's got the credentials. And look, what would be greater in this?
And she a cutie, Fig. She a cutie. Becky's a cutie.
I'll say
Coach me.
Yes.
I'll say this. Fig just made an excellent point because it's about X's and O's. Women are judged at a higher standard if they're going to be put in a sport that's led by all men. Especially, you know, we got a couple of women who are coaching over in the NFL who probably won't get that chance yet. But in the NBA, it's entirely by X's and O's. That's how you are, you know, judged by how you design your X's and O's. If you weren't, Brad Stevens wouldn't even have a job. You know what I mean? Let's just go with that. Yeah. Now let's talent. Here's the question for you, and paired up with that question. Will the men in the Indiana Pacers locker room actually listen to her to be able to even want to have a woman coach? That's the question.
I think that's, to be honest with you, if you asked me that 10, 15 years ago, I'd be like, hell no. But now, I think that's a plus in the locker room. Mm-hmm. I think because you're dealing with the NBA has become vastly younger. Mm-hmm. And you're dealing with kids coming in earlier and at a younger age, right? So that they're at that age where they're prone to already listening to a female authority figure. You know what I mean? As opposed to if it was an older NBA, like I said, 15 years ago, and you're dealing with the Buck Williams and all those dudes, not a good idea. These grown ass men ain't trying to hear it. But because you have these young collegiate and some right out of high school cats skipping into the game at a very young age, I think a dominant female. And one thing about, I've seen her coach. She's dominant. Make no mistake about it. She's pretty. Yeah. She's pretty, but when she put her coach's hat on, you will not push up during that. You'll wait to catch her in the cafeteria before you say, "Hey, Becky, can I get your number?" You ain't gonna say it on the side of the court. She about it. She about it.
Yeah, you know, yo, man, straight up. When you see her on the court, she's got a game face on. She's definitely no nonsense, man. And I think that the players will listen to her because, listen, I can put it to you this way. I know the married players will listen to it because they used to taking orders from a woman. Yeah, so the single players, you know, they had to fall in line. But like I said, man, Becky, she's definitely no nonsense, man. And you know, I think they will listen to her because the one thing about it is that when you start talking basketball, the things that players respect is that you know what you're talking about. You
Right.
know the game, and like I said, she's X's and O's sound. She's coming from under a definite Hall of Fame champion coach in Pop. So I mean, her credentials, she's got credentials. She knows what she's talking about. And once you put them in a position where they can win, you know what I mean? They're gonna try it out and see if what she says works. And once they see that they can win with what it is that she's throwing out on the court, I think everybody will be all in.
All right,
Spoken like a true married man right there. Spoken like a true. It's my job as a single man to help out my married friends. Fig, there's a sale on backbones at Walmart this week.
Oh. Well, Frank is going with me.
Hold my pocketbook. That was hilarious. It's very true. Let's move the gears, switch the gears, because we got to talk about the last NBA game that happened last night before we jump into the NFL, because the NFL season kicks off tonight. Last question about the NBA. Clippers faced the Nuggets last night. I mean, the Clippers looked like they smashed them. It didn't even look like it was that competitive of a game and everything else. Do you think the Clippers are going to basically wrap this thing up tomorrow night? Talent, what you think?
Yeah, I think it's over. I said that the last game that they wouldn't get a game. I mean, they won what I call winning kind of ugly.
Right.
Point production and everything being down. But again, I know it's playing regulated ball. You will play down or up to your competition. So I think that they're thirsty to get out of this thing and on to the next. So I don't even think the next game they play around. I think they jump out on them and we just watch one of those what do you call it? Boring ass blowouts. You know how the game start doing like this and you just slowly falling deeper in your recliner.
Right.
I think we're gonna see one of them.
Right. Fig, what do you think?
Yeah, man, because I think I hate to say that a team will look ahead, but I think the Clippers have been doing that pretty much all season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And especially in the bubble. I think they've been looking ahead because I know they're chomping at the bit to get at the Lakers, and they probably gonna see the Lakers. The Lakers can close out tonight. Am I right?
Yeah.
No. Can they close out tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
You're
Yeah.
see the Lakers possibly have an opportunity to close out tonight, and if the Lakers close out, you could definitely see the Clippers putting their foot on the neck of Denver and just wiping them completely out. That's probably why Doc called a coaches meeting today to make sure that the team is ready tomorrow to go ahead and to end this.
Yeah, the Lakers are up 2-1. The Lakers are up 2-1. So tonight they
got it's only 3 games played. But here's the funny thing: you can't tell me Kawhi is not thinking, and maybe Lowry for that fact on Toronto side. In comparison, is saying, okay, here I am now that I'm in a position to go further towards the chip, and they're in a position where they could be out. So the team I played for last year, done. Team I'm on this year, still rocking. I was right, 100% right as that player. I'm the difference maker in that play. So you can't tell me that's not going on in the brains.
All right. Now let's talk about the NFL. NFL season kicks off tonight. The Chiefs are facing the Titans. Like we said off air, two brand new head quarterbacks got paid. They both got paid this offseason. So we should.
The Titans. It's not Titans. The Texans.
That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. The Texans.
Okay.
The Texans are facing the Chiefs. Both quarterbacks got paid, and we're expecting the fireworks tonight. My question for you guys is: we're getting ready to kick off the NFL season. Who is the team that is going to surprise everybody? I asked this a couple of times over the last couple of days. I'm going to ask you this now again because there's been some words coming out of some NFL camps and some surprises. But who is the team talent now that we have the chance to talk about? Who's the team that you expect is going to surprise everyone? Doesn't matter. AFC, NFC, doesn't matter. Who do you expect to surprise everyone?
I think other than my Jets, I'm going to say the Packers, because I think people have counted out Aaron Rodgers this year. I think coming off of last year, they're like, it's done. You need to leave or blah, 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 or they need this, that, the third. I think that he's going to surprise everybody this year and become a force. And it's going to be one of them seasons like we've seen him do it before, where he don't have every piece that he needs, but he somehow physically wills it to go where it needs to go. I think it's going to be a Packer year for Aaron Rodgers. Okay. And it's going to change the outlook on him, period.
Okay. I'm gonna throw my team out there after Fig picks his team. Fig, who's your team that's gonna surprise everybody? People gonna go, wow, they did really well this year. We didn't see that coming. Who's your team?
You know what? I know you say you want to pick a team that's like the last time you asked this question, I said Cleveland because we had to pick a team that was just way out there that nobody would even be thinking about. But with the emergence of Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and the new quarterbacks and stuff like that, and these are like the new kids on the block. They're the new hottest toy. The one team that I think people are that they are sleeping on that could wake up and be like, boom, Seattle. Seattle. Because they always play, they always seem to go, Russell Wilson and them always seem to go under the radar, except when they had the Legion of Boom. Right now, I think they're under the radar. They not like, they don't have that shiny new toy kind of look. And nobody's really talking about them. Like when I watch the shows and stuff like that, it's all Patrick Mahomes, it's all Baltimore, the Texans and stuff like that. Nobody's really talking about Seattle when they're making some moves. So I think Seattle can really make some noise.
Okay, last time I mentioned this question to you guys, I picked the Colts because nobody's talking about Phillip Rivers, and he's doing that. But also, since last time I asked this question to you guys, something else came to my mind too, which I didn't even think of until I read this sports and everything else. Phillip Rivers. Not Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers obviously is doing well for that. Baker Mayfield for the Cleveland Browns is under his last contract for his last year. Did not get extended. So I'm expecting the Cleveland Browns are going to pull something out of a hat and they're going to do very well because, again, players play a whole lot better when they're playing for their contract lives. So I'm going to say my first team I think is going to be the Colts, and my second team is going to be the Cleveland Browns.
Bruh.
I think I didn't say they're going to win the Super Bowl. I just said they're going to.
I don't give a damn what you're saying. Don't talk anything good about the Cleveland Browns. Odell Beckham is in the news for some freaky stuff. I know you've seen it.
I saw that.
These women are coming forward saying he like when they defecate on him. Now, I'm gonna tell you one thing I know for sure. It ain't been a dude that caught enough receptions and broke no kind of records that been doodled on. All right, you understand what I'm saying? Doodle don't go out of speed.
That we know.
Huh?
That we know.
No. It ain't happened.
Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, the game is tonight. Who you got tonight? We got the Texans and the Chiefs. Who you got tonight?
I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs, man. I think the Chiefs, this is practice. Somebody said something that's very interesting that we got to pay attention to with this NFL season. There's only 6 teams that's allowing fans in there. Pay attention to who it is. Tonight's one of those instances.
Right.
So it's going to be 12,000 people to 16,000, which is 25% of the stadium, will be in attendance tonight. That's going to make a difference. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Right. And
Arrowhead, Kansas City?
In Arrowhead, they're doing that because they're getting the ring, so they're allowing 16,000 fans to come in there. And it's going to be packed to the as much as they can because they're getting their first Super Bowl rings. But anyway, Fig, what do you think? Who do you think's winning tonight, the Texans or the Chiefs?
First off, I'm gonna pick the Chiefs because they're gonna have fans, so they probably gonna have that 12th man. And Patrick Mahomes is a beast, and their team is still intact. But then again, I'm gonna pick the Chiefs because sometimes when you're celebrating, you forget, you know what I mean, that you gotta play. Sometimes that celebration get to you. You get your rings and your ceremony, and the fans is cheering for you.
That happens a lot.
And you get in that I already won type thing, and you don't realize that you did win, but it was last year. I think the Chiefs could be had, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick them anyway. Just hope that they wise enough to get over that. But I'll pick the Chiefs to win because they're at home and they have fans, and fans will be cheering for them and stuff like that. But if they get their head a little too big for them helmets, they could be had tonight.
Okay, well, with that being said, it's about that time. Every day at this time, we get ready to add one of our comedian extraordinaires. He got to always say what he's going to say, and that's Mr. Comedian Extraordinaire, Rodney Perry. Rodney Perry, you got the floor. He already upset.
I got 2 words for y'all. I disagree, and I disagree with your ass too. Let's get to it. All right. Giannis going to Miami. Okay. Let me tell you something about Miami. It's beautiful, the women, the sunlight, but guess what? All your money is tax-free. Let me tell y'all something. They're going to blow up that Milwaukee team. Don't nobody want to go there. It's nasty. It's stinky. Giannis out. I don't care what he say. They put a sound bite up. Giannis talking about how much he loved Milwaukee. That's a lie. People lie. They got a posture for the agents and stuff like that. Giannis out of that. Giannis is out. Write that down. Becky Lynn Hammond, coach, NBA. I think, let me tell you something about America. Let me go global. Let me tell you something about America. America is racist and sexist. America is racist and sexist. Okay? And yeah, sorry, Becky, it ain't gonna happen no time soon. Now, I followed the WNBA. I personally think that these women can't shoot. I'm gonna say it. They miss too many shots. I go to the WNBA, I take my daughter to the game. I'm like, if they miss another shot, I'm out of here. They miss too many shots. But they playing each other. So that's okay. But I think she could be a quality coach because she work under Popovich. That could happen. She looked great. And I take exception with talent calling her a cutie. I pulled up her photographs. All right. You're right. Let's jump on this question. Kansas City, Houston. Frank asked what the biggest surprise was. We know Kansas City, Houston. Who the biggest surprise in the league?
It's gonna be, yeah.
Let's address talent's pick, the Packers. Okay. Let me tell you something. Aaron Rodgers is getting so old. He's slow as hell. He looked like he smoked a pack of cigarettes. That's what I think.
He did the Newports.
Newports, he loved menthols because he got a lot of half black. Anyway, Cleveland. Who said Cleveland? Cleveland Cleveland ain't good at. Let me tell you something. Cleveland is cursed, right? Cleveland ain't been good since Jim Brown. I'm just telling y'all. Every year, my best friend, a Cleveland fan, every year gets there. Oh, this gonna be our year. It ain't never that year. It ain't never that year. It's never that. I don't care who. Odell Beckham. This gonna be it. No, it ain't. Nick Chubb, who is a quality running back, they got him. Guess what? Nothing. Baker Mayfield, career over. What was the young boy that went there that they ran out of town?
Johnny.
Who?
That's a Johnny dude.
Johnny Manziel. He went career over. They don't just not win. They end people's careers.
Even Jim Brown's career was over.
Jim Brown, they were so bad, and Jim Brown, they messed his head up. He threw his wife off a balcony.
Wow.
All right. Who do I like? I'm telling you who I like. I like New Orleans. I think New Orleans has got a good recipe to possibly do something really big. They like Seattle. They always in the mix. They always right there. I like your Seattle pick, Mr. Fig. But get this. My little caveat on New Orleans. I like New Orleans if, say, something happened to Drew Brees and Jameis Winston blind ass get in the game. He got LASIK surgery. Hold on. I'm sorry, Frank, for saying that word. First of all, I apologize. If Jameis Winston get in the game, he got LASIK surgery on the offseason. Okay? Jameis Winston is seeing 2020 now or better. Let me tell y'all something. I predict if Jameis Winston get to play in this year, 2020, he will have a career season. He was passing for over 5,000 yards, and he couldn't see.
That's true.
Jameis wasn't even facing the right direction. Woo! 42! 42! Hot, hot! Jameis, this way. Huh? my bad. All right, let's try that again.
Facing the right direction.
Somebody brought up Odell. Yeah, man. I think Frank brought up a great point. Talon said, well, Odell's the first man to get duked on. We do not know that. So I decided to take a look back in time, see if I can find anybody else out there.
Look back in time.
All right. Well, let me see. Hold on. Who is that? Is that? Wait a second. Is that? Hold on. That can't be. That cannot. Hold on. I don't want to jump the gun because it's kind of blurry. Let me focus. Okay. Is in the question of, is Odell Beckham the first man to get duked on? These glasses got all the features so I can smell it a little bit. All right. Odell Beckham, the first man to get duked on. Dookie. You got to flip through as many years, so I got to flip through a lot. Odell Beckham, Dookie. Look at that. Joe Montana. Yeah, Joe Montana got duked on 4 or 5 times. Wait a minute. Joe Theismann too. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, get out of here. Michael Irvin.
Oh, no.
That can't be right. Michael Irvin got duked on. Apparently, according to my way back glasses, apparently,
oh God,
the dukiness guarantee you a trip to the Hall of Fame. So, look like Odell going to the Hall of Fame, guys. I took a look back, and I had to recalibrate my glasses to go in the past, but because they future glasses, but it's you got to figure things out. So yeah, Odell Beckham, Dookie Man is
Dookie Man.
Well, Rodney Perry's on point with that because he did say about the future glasses yesterday. We were going to get a jet sighting today. We did. So them glasses
I
on
know
point.
it. I heard that. I'm like, did he just say the damn jet? But you know what? If you're gonna be in New York, the Giants might not be a bad pick. The Giants, Saquon Barkley is cold. You know who I like too? Buffalo fucking Low.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo is putting together a really good team. They ain't gonna be shit, but they exciting.
They got great wings.
They got a hell of wings. Hey man, hey, it's always a pleasure, gentlemen. Frank, man, I love you, man. You keep, man. Your vision is unparalleled. And I, it's an honor to follow you because I know you heading in the right direction. Talent, always a pleasure, sir. And I'm glad they took you out of the human meal screen because you're always behind the box. you be in the box like you be hiding. And we got Fig. You know how I feel about you, man. I've been going through a lot of different products trying to get my stuff together, just won't do it. And long and the short of it, I'm a little jealous, man, and I'm just coming to grips with my hair, And
With my hair.
I told y'all I tried this and it kind of all my back came out. So, for anybody out there watching the show, don't use this to get your hair like that. Don't. It don't work. All right, I'm a go, man. I gotta watch this stuff out. But you guys have a glorious day. We'll see y'all. What happened to Sam Cassell? Did I miss him?
No, he rescheduled for tomorrow.
Also, I ain't gonna say nothing bad about him then.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was about to give him a full load.
Yeah, hold that to tomorrow. Wait till tomorrow.
Okay, he gonna fake again. Hold on, let me look. Hold on. let me recalibrate my gas. Let me look out tomorrow. Oh, look at that. Hold on. Sam Cassell. Let me see. Yep. He gonna fake again. Sorry, Frank.
It's all right. It happens.
Let me tell you something. You got the best show in the world.
Man.
He don't come now, they're gonna come back. Write that down.
That's right. That's right.
Rodney Perry,
best
baby.
seats in the house.
Rodney Perry.
Rodney Perry.
I'm out, man. Get off my phone.
Oh my God.
Rodney Perry does what he does. All right, let's jump back into football, man. So Rodney Perry maybe have a couple of ideas too. So who's the oldest quarterback in the league? Well, of the older quarterbacks, who do you think's gonna have the best year? You got Drew Brees, you got Tom Brady, you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Ben Roethlisberger. You got a couple of guys out there who are pretty old. Who do you think's gonna have the best year out of the older quarterbacks?
I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Drew Brees has a shot this year because how he started off with that insensitive racial comment in the climate when things was at its height, him not understanding racial culture. I think there's an unwritten bullseye on his back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think the players in the league are coming for him this year. I really do, and I think that but it ain't no different than what the Saints used to do in the playoffs. They used to put bounties on games. So I think now Drew Brees, there's an unwritten bounty on Drew Brees since that statement. I guarantee.
Okay, Fig, who you think?
Aaron Rodgers, brother. Aaron Rodgers.
He got Aaron Rodgers. Who you got out of the older quarterbacks? Who's going to do the best?
You know what? It's kind of scary. I certainly ain't picking Fat Ben. Because he's the fattest quarterback in the league, and he ain't trying to gain no weight. Ben need to just come on and join the fat people coalition. But I'm gonna go with Tom, man, because Tom seemed real angry, and Tom is the only one that I saw practicing as soon as the season ended last year. Tom started right off practicing. He was practicing with his receivers and stuff like that. And even though they didn't have a preseason, I think Tom is ready. Listen, if he don't fade in the end, I think Tom is ready.
Right. I saw
something going on at home with Tom. Something going on with them.
Probably.
When a man go rush back to work like that, something wrong at the house.
True. I saw a question this morning too that made me think that I couldn't wait to ask you two. They were talking about Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, but the question jumped up this morning was, does the world think the Dallas Cowboys are even going to make the playoffs this year? Forget about all the additions and the new coach and everything else. Does the Dallas Cowboys make the playoffs this year? What do you think, Talon?
Yeah, you have now more than ever. You have a desperate Dak Prescott, and just for that reason alone, they're gonna force their way into a playoff. Maybe a wild card, but I see this dude, poor guy. I see this poor guy like playing the chitlins out of his arm this year. You know what I mean? Like because he has to. He can't afford to be mediocre this year without a contract in play. He has to go hard or go home.
Right. Faye, what you think?
I think, usually when Mike get a hold of a quarterback, they do well. Their new coach, you know what I mean, in that system. And the fact that Dak ain't really got nobody to compete against in his own division, NFC East. You got Philly. With Carson Wentz, you got the Giants, and you got the football team down there in Washington. So they can easily win their own division, which is you right there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you play each of them 2 times. I don't see them really losing to them. So now you got 6 games in the bag.
Right. Okay.
6 games in the bag, and you win a couple more games, you're in the playoffs.
All right. But here's another bit of news. Yesterday morning, right while we were on the air, Von Miller ended up hurting himself and he's out for the season. So Denver Broncos, their season is kind of up in the air on the defensive side of the ball. But on the offensive side of the ball, it didn't look too good either. So the question is talent. Is Denver even going to make the playoffs this year?
Hold up. More importantly, let me see who they playing this week. I got money on this.
Hell
no, they're not making the playoffs.
Denver's not making the playoffs?
Nah, Denver. And I like Denver for a number of years, but you're right, though. Vaughn is such a catalyst and a big part of that defense, and that defense being a big part of them just staying alive in games.
Right.
You take that, it's like taking a lifeline away from somebody. You know, you got somebody in the hospital, and they go, well, what do you want to do?
Right. What you think?
I think Denver don't have a do not resuscitate.
Yeah, DNR, that's right. And listen, man, Vaughn was the lifeline of that whole thing, man. I think, and not only I think they're gonna miss Vaughn on the field. I think they would miss him in the locker room too. You know what I mean? Because he's a leader. Right. And I don't even know, to tell you the truth, other than Von Miller, I don't know who else played for Denver. And you know what I mean? I know John Elway. I know Peyton used to play, but who else they got?
Does John Denver play for Denver? John Denver, did he? John Denver plays for Denver, right?
John Denver was a singer, wasn't he?
Yo, Denver, you know what they did to get Denver football team? They went to the Home Depot and got a bunch of them guys standing out there looking for work.
Wow, that's terrible.
Y'all want to play football? Come on.
All right, but last question of the show. How good do you think the 49ers are going to do this year? Do you expect them Super Bowl bound? Do you expect them to make the playoffs? You expect them to be NFC Championship? Whatever. How good do you think talent? How good do you think that the 49ers, who made the Super Bowl last year and was a couple of plays away from winning the Super Bowl, how good do you think they're going to be this year?
I think they'll be slightly not as good, slightly a little worse, but I think they'll still make the playoffs. They'll still be competitive in the playoffs. They may even go second round and deep, but that's it. I don't see them making it back to a Super Bowl at all.
Okay. All right. Faye, what do you think?
I think they are who we thought they were. I think what they should do is give Jimmy G a lifetime supply with Pornhub and
I knew you was going there. I knew you was going there. I knew you was going there.
Hey, give him a couple girls out of the Playboy Hustler magazines and stuff like that. Jimmy G play his behind off for you. You understand what I'm saying? Whenever you can pay a man in lotion and baby oil, you understand. That's why it's hard to sack him, talent, because he's always covered in baby oil.
Unless Odell send those chicks over there, now you gotta worry.
Right. All right, so we gotta get ready to wrap up this show. I guess that's about it. Tomorrow we're gonna have Sam Talent.
Yes, tomorrow our guest will be back. Sam Cassell, scheduled for today, rescheduled for tomorrow. So you don't want to miss this 1 o'clock show. Box Seats got the best guests, baby.
That's how we do. That's how we do. Talent, tell everybody.
We got the best cast.
All right, so follow me, people. I'm on Twitter at It's Just Comedy. I'm on Instagram at Talent the Comedian, one word. And then also on Facebook, King Talent Harris. Either way, come catch your boy. We out there. It's just comedy.
Fig.
Yeah, man, you can follow me right here. Where is it? Right there. Woo! Right there, Comedian Fig. If you can't find me there, go to Talent's page. And I'm gonna be on his page. You can find me. If you can't find me on my page, go to Talent's page, and I'm gonna be over there in some of his pages because he got a lot of pages and some people that probably be looking for me, but they didn't know where I was. So I'm gonna be on his page so they can find me.
Well, thank you guys. We appreciate you. We also appreciate Rodney Perry for joining the show. I appreciate Talent. I appreciate Rodney Perry. Catch us tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We're going to have our guest is going to be Sam Cassell. Everybody's coming back. This is the Humor Mill. The name of the show is called Box Seats. We're on every day, Monday through Friday. You can check us out on all platforms. You can download the app, do what you do. But we'll see you all tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace, fellas.
You already know.